well, it's hard to say, but obviously my parents' early divorce when I was just 3, of course, impacted me tremendously, as with all children. And me and my older sister at that time, my only sibling at that time, we moved to from Copenhagen city to a rural countryside. And as my sister, who was 4 years older, went to school one day, she was 7 at that time, I was left alone at home with my mother. Unfortunately, my mother was not very good at parenting, and she was very neglective. My stepfather at the time was very violent and angry person, so we had a very troubled childhood, and I was basically left to my own, and so I started. I had a German Shepherd. We had a German Shepherd, and I basically was raised by this German Shepherd. I spent my days roaming the countryside, the forest, and the sea. With this dog, and basically being raised by a dog at that time, like a kind of Mowgli in a funny way. So I was very, in many ways, sad and depressed because I didn't have attachment with humans in the same way, and love and care, you know. So, but I learned very important things from dogs, like exploring, and I learned things like being happy because the dog you can treat it bad or something happens to it, and 5 minutes later you can throw a ball and it's happy again. So I also learned those things as well. So and then, but I was very sad, you know, and I was neglectful, and I felt it didn't matter, and I was always thinking of ways to well, end my life, but heroically, you know, somehow to die in battle or something was my only dream at that time. At 14. I had this major life-changing thing when I drowned in a diving competition with my friends in Isefjord in northern Denmark, and I was deep long diving with them, and I wanted to win, so and I pushed, and I'm a small frame person, so I have smaller lungs and many of my chest capacity than my friends, and I pushed it that day because I really wanted to win. I wanted to outcompete them, and I lost consciousness. And what I really remember, the first thing is this: being underwater, seeing underwater, and suddenly at the same time seeing above water while still being underwater. This is weird, that's just a fraction of a second. And then I just see from above. I look down at myself, I look down at my friends, I hear them talking, what they're talking about. I watch the man who luckily pulls me from the water and up to the pier and makes me puke out the water and throw up, who like pushed me back and blew into me and compressed me and resuscitated me back into life. And I right away came back into this horrible feeling of like choking and coughing and spouting and all that. But at that time in my life, I was a hardcore Darwinist evolutionary. I still believe in evolution, but from a physical point of view. But I also discovered at that instant that there is life after death, right? That there is, and you can debate what you want to call it. You want to call soul or spirit or higher self or consciousness, higher consciousness. There are lots of different terms for it in life, but it's there, right? And so that changed my life. From somehow it took away a lot of fears, and it gave me a lot of self-confidence from that. We changed my outlook on life because I saw it with a higher purpose, right? And it eased my suffering in that way in my life, the troubled life I had, you know, because it eased that in that new way. So I became much more positive and joyful, although I was also joyful before because I could change like a dog. But in general, it changed my life. From I was suddenly a Darwinist with a soul, and that's kind of like a contrary. And there has always been these contrasts in my life ever since. I've been a light, I've been a soldier, priest, whatever. I fit in two worlds, you know. But I don't know how to explain it better than that. But it gave me a very, very confidence in life and doing things. And I see life as an expedition where you're exploring and discovering and growing. You know? Yeah. I started telling that to my friends and my family and my sisters, like I'm immortal, and people always laugh at me. But for me, it is jokingly because of course you're physical being in that, but I am actually mortal, because I tried dying and I wasn't dead, So for me, there is this thing. I still joke with it. I am immortal, So I don't care. I can't die. So yeah. Because of course it's hard to go back and retrospect and say why are you different, but I am clearly different than most people in general. And yes, I love challenging myself. I love climbing the mountains. I love, and it's not just an adrenaline rush, although that's part of that as too. But there's something, for me, it's a mental thing of conquering my own fear, right? That's the thing. Like when you're there and you're shaking and you're afraid or something, you look down and you think, "Oof, I made a mistake," or something. You wonder the consequences, but then this the thing of calming your mind and thinking there is a solution, and then finding it and succeeding. That is what gives me when I'm there on the top and you're finished and you're going down. That's a thing of you conquered yourself. The mountain is part of it, but that's only a tool for you grow